Billy, so pre-game, and obviously 8-game win streak is nothing to be sneezed at in this league. But pre-game, you talked about how you didn't love some of the things that happened the last couple games.
Yeah.
And I would guess you
defensively.
I guess you kind of be in that same position tonight.
No, I was really pleased tonight from the standpoint of what we did defensively.
Okay, overall.
In terms of, what do you mean overall? In terms of us getting better, you mean from what I talked about from that standpoint?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I just felt like I think it was maybe 10 straight games. We were shooting 48% from the 3-point line. We were the number one 3-point. We've been the number one 3-point shooting team. And I just don't know if we're able to sustain shooting the basketball at that clip for the rest of the season. I think it's probably unsustainable. But the other thing that I thought really, really slipped was defensively. If you look at, our transition defensive numbers, you look at our rebounding numbers, you look at our fouling numbers, you look at, I think, our rating, maybe over the last 7 to 10 games, it's probably been like 26th or 27th. That's really a hard formula to be a really good team. I thought physically tonight, I think our guys gave everything they had. And I think coming off an emotional back-to-back with what DeMar did, 5 and 7 nights, and then having to come right back and play again, I think that they gave everything they had out there. And I was really proud of the defense part. And I know Orlando's got a lot of young guys, and they play hard and they compete. And listen, they're on a back-to-back too, and they just played Boston to overtime. But I just felt like defensively, that's what I was more focused on tonight. I thought that, if we move and share it, okay, we'll score. I thought we had really, really good looks. I didn't think we shot the ball particularly well. I thought we had some opportunities to close the game out a little bit earlier, with some free throws. We missed some free throws. But, I thought defensively, for the most part, I think, we had a 17-point first quarter. We held them to 21. This is a game to me that if you don't defend and shoot it the way we did, we would not have had a chance to win. And I think that to me was the encouraging part of it. Now, did we play great? No, by no stretch of the imagination. I'm not even saying that. We had a hard shooting night, but we talked a lot about defense this morning, and I think the guys came out and tried to do as good of a job as they possibly could have tonight. And I was really pleased with that.
Get the reflection of how important Lonzo is to the defense, do you think?
Well, I think some of it, is not necessarily have anything to do with Lonzo or Alex. And what I mean by that, like transition defense, has nothing to do with that. Blocking out and rebounding, has nothing to do with that. Fouling has nothing to do with that. Now, winning at the point of the screen and pick and roll, absolutely. There's an art and a skill and a talent to that, and Lonzo's got it. But if you look at the numbers like rebounding, transition, and fouling, like those things had skyrocketed for us over the last 10 games. And that's the thing I was trying to say a little bit earlier today before the game is you get on a win streak and all of a sudden you don't even think about any of these other things. I didn't think defensively we were going in the right direction. And I think what happened was over a 10-game period or a 7-game period, we shot the ball at an absolutely unbelievable rate of what we were doing. And inevitably you're going to have a game like you have tonight where, you know what, you shot it that great. Listen, if we can shoot the ball like that for 10 straight games and have a game like this offensively shooting the ball, I'll take it every single night. So that means we got 10 more coming like that. That'd be great. But it just doesn't work like that. And we've got to have a mentality of if the ball's not going to the basket, we can still defend. And I think we'd started to shift a little bit more into, okay, we got this resiliency, this toughness, we'll find a way to win. But I also think, too, if we're not making shots, are we giving ourselves a realistic chance to win on nights where we don't shoot the ball particularly well? And I don't think we can be a team that's, okay, this is, Chicago's a top 5 offensive team in a league. They're explosive offensively. But you know what? They're 25th in the league defensively. And you know what? If they have a good shooting night, it's really going to be hard to beat them. But, if they don't shoot it well, they're going to have a hard time winning. I don't know if that's a real good recipe for our team. Or if you look at our numbers for a good portion of the year, we were in the top 10 defensively. I think we've now are 12th. And I think, like I said, the last 10 or 12 games, we really dropped. And I think it happens when you play a lot of games in a row and you have guys in and out. There's going to be slippage. It's not anybody's fault. I don't blame anybody, but we've got to get refocused back on, defending at the level that we had. And certainly Alex and Lonzo are big pieces to that. But the things that you look at that have been a little bit of a challenge for us are things that I don't think have anything to do with those two guys. Even if they're out there, we need those guys to do those things as well.
You said going all the way back to the West Coast trip that when you lose guys, you can always learn something about your team. You lost Vucevic. Do you feel like in any way that this set of circumstances that you guys have been put through, it's been beneficial for Coby White, the run he's been on the last 5-6 games?
Yeah, I mean, Kobe again, tonight he was the one guy that got into a pretty good rhythm and he shot the ball well. I think DeMar had the same exact shots that he's been taking and making. He's uncharacteristically, you always want him at the free throw line late. But yeah, I mean, Kobe's been on a really, really good tear, and I think he's been able to maybe find his rhythm a little bit. The thing I'm most pleased about with Kobe is he's really battling defensively. Like that. No one really talked about it. I thought the play he made in the Indiana game when there was 0.7 seconds to go and they tried to throw that lob and he dove and came up with that ball and threw it to DeMar. Like I thought that was an incredibly important play and a winning play. But I'm really, really happy with what he's been able to do because it's hard. You go through the shoulder surgery, then you get COVID and you never really can find yourself. But he's done a really good job for us. I'm personally happy for him because he's a great guy and he works really hard.
Those big absences.
I'm sorry.
We talked before the game about how losing Javonte was especially a big absence defensively. How did you kind of feel about how you were able to shift the defense to accommodate that tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I thought Derek gave us really good minutes. We were small sometimes. I wanted to see tonight what the four guards would look like out there, with playing almost DeMar at the power forward spot. We hadn't really had a chance to do that much. We did it a little bit to close the second quarter and did it to close the game tonight. We did do some offensive defense so we could switch at the end of the game to take away threes. But I think that, I just think this is going to kind of be the norm in the NBA now, where you're just going to have to deal with these kind of lineup situations. And, I thought for the most part, in the absence of Javonte, I thought, Derek did a nice job for us and did some good things. Okay. Thank you guys. Bye-bye.